Hi reception, hope you all are well and having lots of fun at home. First, your teachers just want to say a huge well done for how hard you've been working once again this week. As usual, you are making Mrs. Jones, Mrs. Gregory and myself extremely proud, and we also want to say a big thank you to your mums, dads and family members for all their help too. It's hard to believe that we're actually in our 13th week away from the reception classroom this week, which is quite scary in some ways. Online learning certainly hasn't been without its difficulties, but through your own dedication and the outstanding support I've just mentioned from your families, I certainly believe we've been able to make it a success. So thank you all very much. It's a pleasure also to hear about all the other lovely things you're getting up to at home. It really brings a huge smile to my face just knowing you're all well, healthy, safe and having lots of fun. So please just remember, whether it's work related or otherwise, just to keep in touch with your teachers because we love nothing more than hearing from you. Diolch yn fawr pawb, thank you very much. Google Classroom has definitely been a learning curve for us all, to say the least, myself no more than anyone else. But I think working together, as I just mentioned, we have definitely been able to make it a success, which is wonderful. However, I'm sure you will agree that it certainly doesn't compare to being back in our reception classroom, especially as we are the best class in the world, which Sir tells you every single day. Mr. Francis is delighted to be returning to Padre Pio on Monday, and I simply cannot wait to be reunited with so many of you next week who are coming back to school. I understand that coming back on Monday, however, may have created some feelings of apprehension and maybe a little bit of nervousness. Hopefully you're very excited, I certainly am, but I would completely understand that those feelings are there too. Indeed, school is going to be very, very different given the circumstances. It would be very hard for it to be the same. We all know that and what's been going on over the previous months and weeks. Just so you know, however, please rest assured that your teachers have and are continuing to do their utmost to make our classroom a warm, positive, caring and most of all fun environment that you will be able to enjoy with your friends next week. Mrs. Jones and I have been very busy in the reception classroom this week making the final preparations for Monday, and that's why we've made this little video to share with you all. We've been putting a lot of things in place to guarantee, most importantly, your safety next week, but also to ensure that where possible we can follow and promote social distancing as well, which I'm sure you'll all be pleased to hear. The classroom you see on Monday is unfortunately going to be very different from what you're used to, and the one you're going to see in the video is going to be slightly different as well because of course the activities you'll be enjoying on Monday won't be set up, but we've just showed it you in a more basic form just to prepare you a little bit over the weekend and hopefully answer some of the questions you may have, and most importantly to hopefully ease any anxiety you may have about coming back to Padre Pio. So I hope you enjoy it and I'll see you very soon. Diolch yn fawr. Now, boys and girls, on Monday you can arrive at Padre Pio at any time between 8:45 and 9:15 in the morning. We've introduced this staggered start to hopefully try to ease congestion in our car park and also reduce the number of adults and children on site at any given time. Another important thing to remember is that you do not have to wear your school uniform when you attend on Monday. When you arrive at school, you should then use the entrance where you just saw me stood and waving to the camera to get to our classroom door, using either the steps or the ramp, of course. Unfortunately, however, boys and girls, a little bit of sad news, you will not be able to play on the yard with your friends before school starts as you are used to. As I did mention, school is going to be different and that's one of the things that you are going to notice first. You should instead immediately make your way to the classroom door like I'm going to show you in the next video. You will no longer come in through the cloakroom door entrance each morning reception as you are normally used to. In fact, that door will actually be locked throughout each school day. Instead, you will wait by the door you just saw in the last video clip. You will have noticed that on the ground next to this door there were some yellow grids. These are to ensure that the adults who are dropping off and collecting you from school can follow social distancing, both from the classroom and indeed from each other as well. At this entrance each morning you will be met by a teacher who will then help to take you in to the classroom. Unfortunately, other than school staff, no other adults will be allowed into the building at any time of the day. Pupils can then be collected from this same entrance, but it's important to note that our school day will now finish at 2:45 rather than our usual time of 3:05 in the afternoon. Next to these markings, you will have also noticed our outdoor area, which Mrs. Jones and I have been busy preparing for social distancing. Hopefully it's going to be nice and sunny next week, where we'll be able to enjoy lots of outdoor activities together. So we'll just take a look at this little area in the next clip. From Monday, the tough spots you just saw, and of course the whole area itself, will be set up with lots of fun activities for you to enjoy with your friends in the outdoors. I hope that you also noticed on the ground next to some of the equipment the coloured spots we've placed out. These are hopefully to ensure that, where possible, we can promote and follow social distancing. Naturally, in reception, this does contradict completely with our entire ethos of learning through play and social interaction. It is probable, I must admit, that there will be times in the day where social distancing is going to be quite difficult to maintain, but please know that we will do everything in our power, everything we can as a staff to follow the guidelines laid out to us. The last clip ended on the door which you will enter into our classroom through, as I mentioned before. So let's take a look at the inside of our classroom in the next clip. When you enter through our classroom door in the morning, boys and girls, a teacher will direct you to an individual area that has been allocated to you for that day. In that area, you will find a picture of yourself, a new purple book, and various other resources ready for you so you know where to sit, as you can see in the next picture. This will remain your individual area reception for the 3 days that you attend Padre Pio until the end of the summer term, and it is where you will place your lunch and other belongings when you arrive each morning. Though you will have to eat your lunch in the classroom, which will be a little bit strange, after finishing, of course, there will be opportunities to play on the yard in an area designated just for us, the best class in the world. At this point, however, I would like to remind you to bring little else to school other than your packed lunch. For safety, we urge you not to bring, as much as I do love them, any toys, pencils or books, please, so that really you will only need to use the school equipment. The only other items that you may need to bring with you next week are a water bottle, a sun hat, and of course sun cream if we are lucky enough to have these lovely hot temperatures we've had this week, fingers crossed. Hopefully the weather will be fine, boys and girls, because that will also mean we'll be able to enjoy more activities outdoors together, which we always love, of course. You will also notice that in the last video, each individual space has been set up so that it's appropriately social distanced from other pupils, which you can also see in the next set of photos that I will now show you. At the end of the last video clip reception, you may also have spotted right at the end a box of labelled resources with a picture of Mickey Mouse on there. This is because for next week, Mrs. Jones and I have placed the pupils who are returning into 3 groups. These are different to our previous classroom groups, so do not worry, and we've decided to keep them very basic by calling them Mickey, Donald and Pluto. You know how much Mr. Francis loves his Disney. The groups will be posted online later on at the end of the day, so you can tell your child whether they are indeed a Mickey, a Donald or a Pluto until the end of the summer term. Remembering their group will help your child better understand how to navigate their new classroom and its resources effectively and, more importantly, safely. I will now show you our classroom toilets, for instance, which have been marked according to these new groups so that only one is in use throughout each school day. Have a look. The sinks will also be marked in a fashion similar to this. However, our heated hand dryers, for health reasons, will not be used next week, and children will use paper towels only after washing their hands. Thankfully, we also have an additional sink in our classroom to help us maintain thorough hand washing consistently throughout each school day. And there will also be regular cleaning of surfaces, toilet doors, door handles, and all other equipment that the children use throughout each day. You may also have noticed that all of our larger classroom furniture has been removed, and that unfortunately, boys and girls, our role play area is now off limits, unfortunately, I'm afraid. I know how much some of you love role play, boys and girls, but that is just one of the changes that you are going to see next week, I'm sorry. But don't worry, there's of course still going to be plenty of things for you to enjoy inside and outside of our classroom. One of the things Mr. Francis has missed the most since being away from reception is definitely reading you all stories. When we do this next week, which I'm very much looking forward to, you will need to find your own bookworm to sit down so you know you're on a spot on the carpet that is just right for you. Hopefully the next video will explain it a little bit more. As you can see, boys and girls, it is going to be very, very different for you next week, but I'm sure it will be a piece of cake for the best class in the world. As always in reception, we approach everything that is thrown at us with confidence and a smile, especially new challenges. I really hope that this video has helped put your mind at ease at least a little bit, reception, and you are now enthusiastic about returning next week. It is important to remember, however, that on the days you are not in school, or if you are not returning at all, the online learning will still continue via Google Classroom as it has done since March. As usual, a new set of assignments will be uploaded for you every Monday morning, and we ask that you try your very best to complete as many as you can in each teaching week. You have made us so proud with all your excellent work since March, boys and girls, and we ask that you just please maintain your fantastic, wonderful effort in all areas of learning. You're doing so well. However, with Mrs. Jones and I, of course, both back in school full-time from Monday onwards, feedback on your online work will unfortunately not be as instant as it has been in recent weeks. Please know, however, that all pieces will definitely be marked, and I will aim them to return them to you with comments as soon as possible. I will also be logging on to Google Classroom every evening and all our other online platforms after school, and will be responding to any messages or queries that may have cropped up when you've been working at home throughout any particular day. Sadly, I no longer will be available throughout the whole day reception because, of course, I will be teaching pupils in the classroom. But as has previously been the case, I'll do my utmost to get back to you as soon as possible. Anyway, let's take a look at your new groups for the final 3 weeks of the summer term to finish on a high note for today. Mrs. Jones and I very much hope that you found this video worthwhile reception. I promised that I would try not to take up too much of your time, but as you know, and I'm sure your parents know, brevity is something that Mr. Francis still definitely hasn't mastered, so I do apologise. However, if there is anything I've mentioned here that you want to discuss further or something you want some more information on, then please do not hesitate to contact me. As always, as I tell you each day, you can reach me via Google Classroom, Class Dojo, Twitter or email regarding any matter, big or indeed small. You can send me a message at any time and on the weekend, so if something is on your mind, then please don't let it worry you and please get in touch and I'll get back to you straight away. Thank you for listening to our video. Have a wonderful weekend, boys and girls, with your family. Recharge those batteries, of course, very important, and get ready for a brilliant, brilliant first week back. I'm so excited. I'm sure your friends are excited, and all the teachers at Padre Pio cannot wait to welcome you back from Monday onwards. Stay safe, keep smiling, take care, and we will see you all very soon. Bye.